So measure of central tendency is basically helping me to understand how my data is, right? So there is various ways of measuring about my data, like how my data is, majority of my data is present, or what is the distribution where my data is, majority of my data is present, and all those details about that you can find it through measure of central tendency and measure of spread. So in today's and tomorrow's session, we are going to talk about these two stuffs. We'll try to understand that in detail. We'll try to solve a lot of problems so that the concept will be very much clear. So as I mentioned, we'll solve a lot of problem. Let's start with the data set. So here is my data set, and now what we want is we want to find out the mean, median, and the mode of my data. Here you can see that the data set which we have 23, 30, 21, 32, and so on. My requirement is to find the mean and median and the mode for this particular data set. What I'll do is I'll open the calculator so that it will be easy for us to do the calculation. So first of all, what is mean? Mean is nothing but when I want to sum up all the records, right? So that is nothing but sum of xi by n, right? Where n is my total number of records. So I have to sum up all these numbers and then divide by total number of records. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 records are there. So n is my 9. That is nothing but mean for me. Then we have median. So when you want to calculate a median, median should be calculated first of all. We have to make our data in a sorted format. Either it could be ascending order or it could be descending order, right? So we have to sort this data first, and then we have to find the median. Median is nothing but the middle number of my data set. And all these things we already discussed in our data visualization sessions as well. But as I mentioned, better to have these things going in our mind again and again, because we are going to use this a lot. And the mode is nothing but how frequent, which number is frequently coming in, right? So these are the three things which we have to find for this particular data set, where total number of records are 9. So obviously my middle number will be 5th number once I sort the data. So let's first sort the data and then we'll do all the three calculations. So 21, again 21, these two records, then 22 comes in, then 23 comes in, then 25 comes in, then 30 comes in, or 24 comes in before 25. So '24 comes in, then 25 comes in, then 30, 32, 33. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 records with us. And now I want to find the mean, median, and mode. You can see that mean is I have to calculate, but median and mode I can quickly find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my median. My mode is, I can see that there is 21, which is the majority, right? Most frequent value. So 21 is my mode. And I need to find out the mean as well, which I will do the calculation. I'll sum up all the values and take the average. So 21 plus 21 plus 22 plus 23 plus 24 plus 25 plus 30 plus 32 plus 33 divided by 9. So that comes out to be 25.67. So my mean comes out to be 25.67. So from this data set, we understand that my mean, median, mode is almost in the same range, right? And you can see that there is no outlier present in my data set. So if I try to roughly identify how my data will look like, I'll create a bell curve and I can see that my mean, median, mode is almost in the same range, which is nothing but 21 to 20, 26, you can say. At this range, my mean, median, mode is present. So that is what my data is. So suppose if someone will ask, let's say suppose this is a marks. This is a marks in the class. So someone will ask like, what is the average marks in your class you are getting? So I will say it's around 26 marks. Or if I say in median, so 24 marks. Or if I say mode, then 21. So mode I will not prefer much. But yes, mean and median I will prefer much because it will give me an idea about how my data is. For example, let's say there are students with 21, 21, 21, and then some bigger number. So 21 is the majority. So it will not give me the proper idea about my data is, how my data is distributed. But mean and median, if outliers is not there, then mean is a good way of judging the data. If outliers is there, then maybe median is the best way to judge the data. Here you can see that we have 9 number of records. So my median will be the middle number, which is 24. But what if my data is an even number? When the data is an even number. Now here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 records are there. I have to sort the data first. So here I will have again 21. 21 comes in. So 21, 21. Then we have 22 coming in. Then we have 23 coming in. 24 coming in. So this is done. 25 coming in. This is done. Then we have 30 coming in. Then this is done. Then 32, 32 and 33. 32, 32 and 33. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 records are there. Now when we have an even number, in that case the middle to value average is my median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. My median comes out to be 24.5. That is nothing but 24 plus 25 divided by 2. So first of all, we have to sort the data and then take the middle to value and then take the average. Will give you the median when my total number of values are an even number. When we have an odd number like this, then I will take the middle value, that is my median. Now I want to find the mean and the mode as well. Now here you can see, if I talk about the mode, this is my median. If I talk about the mode, you can see that I have 21 and 21, 32 and 32, 2 times. That means my data is having 2 modes. 21 is also 2 times coming in, 32 is also 2 times coming in. Then what is my mode? Then my mode is 21 and 32 both. So this type of data is known as bimodal data. It's a bimodal. I have two modes, bimodal data. Now if I come to the mean, so for calculating the mean, let's do the sum. So 21 plus 21 plus 22 plus 23 plus 24 plus 25 plus 30 plus 32 plus 32 plus 33 divided by 10 records. So 26.3 is coming in as my mean. So for this data set, my mean comes out to be 26.3. So that is how we will able to calculate the mean, median and mode, which is nothing but known as measure of central tendency. Let's talk about some more examples so that we'll have a better understanding. Now here is my data set and we'll try to solve this particular problem. James interviewed juniors and seniors at his university. asking them how many pieces of fruit they eat each day. The results are shown below. Which group has high mean? Is mean a good measure for center of distribution for seniors? Can we use mean for the center of distribution for juniors as well? Right, so that is what my question is. And here is my data set. This is my data for the juniors. The above data is for my juniors, and the below data is for my seniors. So above data is for juniors and below data is for seniors. Now I want to find from this particular data set which group has the high mean. Now from the naked eye, I may think that this data may have high mean because of this outlier. That is like roughly I can see, because here I see 4 data set, here also I have 4 data set, here I see 3 data set, here I see 2 data set, here I see one data set each, right? Here I see more number of data, here I see less number of data. Maybe looks like that because of this guy my mean will be higher by visually understanding it. So we can answer that which group has a high mean, maybe junior, but let's rectify or let's check first of all whether it is correct or not. Maybe we are wrong, right? So let's calculate. So how many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 students in juniors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 students in seniors. Let me sum the number of fruit. So this is 0. So 0 plus, there are 2 people with 2 fruits, 2 people with 4 fruits, 4 people with 6 fruits, 8 fruits, 3 people are there. So 10 fruit 1 people, 12 fruit 1 person. So 10 fruit 1 person, 12 fruit 1 person, plus 22 fruit 1 person. So this is my data. If I sum up all and divide it by 15 will be my mean. So let's calculate that quickly and see what the output is. So here I will add 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 24 plus 24 plus 44, 104 divided by 15. 6.93 is the mean coming in, right? So here my mean coming is around 6.93, somewhere here. That is my mean. If I go to this data set, let's calculate. So 0 fruit, 2 fruit, 4 fruit, then 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 fours are 24 plus 16 plus 22, 10 plus 12. Okay, let's sum it quickly. So 16 plus 4, 20, 20 and 40, 50. Sorry, 20 and 24 is 44, 44 and 64, 66, 68. 68 fruits are there. So 68 by 18 is what we need to calculate. So 68 by 11 is what we need to calculate. 6.18, right? 68 by 11 is what we have to calculate. That is 6.18, which is coming somewhere here. Right, so obviously 6.18 is less than 6.93. So as per the visual appearance, it looks like that the mean of the junior is more, and we just did the calculation and we found out that yes, the mean is higher for the juniors. That is 6.93. Now the second question is mean a good measure for center of distribution for senior? Can we use mean for center of distribution for junior? So obviously here you can see that I don't have any outlier. So I can very well go ahead and maybe think of going with a mean for helping me understand the center of distribution or center of measured center of tendency, right? Measure of central tendency. I can go for it. But because of this outlier, I may be restricted for the juniors, right? Can we use mean for juniors? I cannot use that because of this guy, right? Because of this guy, my mean is shifted towards little bit of higher side, little bit. Obviously, there is not much impact because of this outlier because there was only one record. But yes, there was a little bit of impact which we can see, right? So obviously for senior, the distribution I can go with a mean. I don't have any issues with that. But for junior, I may prefer to go with median rather than the mean. If I want to calculate the median, then I can again do the calculation. So let's try to calculate the median for both the data set. So here I have 0. Basically, we have 15 records, right? So I want to go to 7th record. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically, my median comes out to be 6. Same way here also, I have 11 records, so I want to go to 6th record. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my 6th record. So this is also coming out to be 6. So you can see that the median of both the data is same, but the mean is here 6.93. Here it was 6.18. There is a difference. In fact, the mode is also same here. I have 4 entries here, 4 entries here. So mode is also same. Mode is also 6. But you can see that mean is actually fluctuating because of the outliers. Now here is one more question. Atharv played 5 rounds of golf and his lowest score was 80. The score of the first 4 rounds and the lowest round are shown in the following dot plot. So here you can see that we have 4 scores. One is this 80, then we have this 85, then we have this 90. This is, let's assume it is 92, and this is as 95. So these are the scores Atharv scored in his in his golf game. Now, okay. Now it was found that Atharv broke some rule. Atharv broke some rule when he scored 80. That means he broke some rule when he scored 80. So that score will be removed from the data set. As he broke some rule, I have to remove this score from the data set. So now question arises that this is obviously my new data set. Now question arises is that what will be the impact or the effect of my mean and median after removal of the lowest score, right? What will be the impact of mean and median after removal of the lowest score? That is what we need to find out. Now we have this 4 options coming in with us. So these are the 4 options which they are giving us. So let's try to understand which option is the correct option. Either we can calculate or we can maybe try to assume. First of all, see, the lowest record is removed. If the lowest record is removed, obviously my mean will be shifting towards higher side. Maybe my median will also be shift towards higher side. That means mean and median will decrease. This option is no longer valid. Now we are left with only this two options. Because we are removing the lower record, right? If you are removing the higher record, then obviously my mean will shift towards the lower side. Because we remove the lower record, so my mean will obviously go towards higher side. Now both mean and median will increase, but the mean will increase by more than median. Second option is both mean and median will increase, but mean will increase by more than median. It's a mean will increase by a median, and here it will be median will increase by mean. There is a typo, right? Now let's try to see that. Maybe we can do the calculation and give the answer. Or here, if I go ahead and check what is my median in the first scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle value 90 is my median. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here 91 is my median if I consider this as 92. So obviously my median increased. Now I will take the average. Let's go and calculate it. So here I will sum up the values. 80 plus 85 plus 90 plus 92 plus 95 divided by 5. So 88.4 is my mean for the above scenario. So for this scenario, somewhere here 88.4 is my mean. Let me calculate the mean of the below record. So 85 plus 90 plus 92 plus 95 divided by 4. 90.5 is the output. So 90.5 is the output. Now my median was 90 and now it is 91. My mean was 88.4 and now it is 90.5. So here it increased by 2 pointers, 2.1 pointers basically. Here the increment happened by 1 pointer. So if I see the option, both mean and median will increase, but mean will increase more than median, and that is the correct answer, right? Because mean increased more than the median. Median increased by 1 pointer, but mean increased by 2 pointers, 2.1 pointers. So that is how you can solve this problem as well. Now here is one more scenario for us. A group of 4 friends like to bowl together, and each friend keeps track of his all-time highest score in a single game. Their high scores are all between 180 and 220, except Athar, whose highest score is 250. Athar then bowls a great game and has a new high score of 290. How will increasing Athar's high score affect the mean and median? Obviously it will increase, no doubt about that. Both will increase, the median will increase, mean will stay same. No, obviously not, right? Mean is like very fluctuating. You are adding one outlier, so mean will be impacting. So that is absolutely a wrong answer. The mean will increase, the median will stay the same. Not sure, we have to check that. The mean will increase and median will decrease. Median will not decrease, right? It will obviously either be same or increase only. It will not be gonna decrease. So this is also wrong option. Now we are left with this two. As per me, I think median should be the same, but not sure. Let's try to understand that. So A group of 4 friends like to ball together. Each friend keeps a track of all the highest score in a single game. Their highest score are between this and this, except Athar. A group of 4 students, okay, 4 friends, including Athar. So obviously the value of Athar is 290 now, and earlier it was 250. Now I want to populate 3 values for 3 friends. Let's assume that the score is gonna vary from 180 to 220. Okay, so let's say I'll give 180, maybe 200 and 220. Same here, 180, 200, 220. Yeah, I can give any value, right? Because it can be any. That is really not matter to me, because the most important thing is this point, which is gonna impact me. Now, if I want to find the median in this data set, in both the data set, looks like median is gonna remain the same, which is 210, right? So obviously my median will stay the same. And you consider any scenario, whether you are putting 180, 180, 180, 250, 290, 180, 180, 180. You consider any scenario here, my median will remain the same in any case. So this is my correct answer. How the mean will impact? Mean will obviously gonna increase here more, because here I have a bigger outlier, that is 290, right? So my mean will increase and median will stay the same, is the correct answer. Both mean and median will increase? Not really, right? Because I have 4 values only and the last value is changing, and my middle 2 value will remain the same because that is not changing. So this option is also looks like a wrong option. So this is the only option which is correct. All right, so this is the last example. Let's try to understand this. At least one of the salesperson sold more than 10 cars or not. I need to know whether it is true or false or don't know. From this data, can you try to give answer? Range is nothing but the maximum value minus minimum value. Now what is the answer? Is that true, false, or don't know? Don't know means insufficient information. What do you think, guys? From this data set, I'll give you 2 minutes. You think about it and let me know the answer. So the correct answer is false. Let's try to understand this. At least one of the salesperson should sold more than 10 cars. More than 10 cars, let's say assume 11 cars. That is more than 10, right? So can I say the maximum value is 11? Like one of the salesperson, here you can see 11 salesperson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 salespersons. So is someone selling more than 10 cars? So let's assume that yes, there is a guy who is selling 11 cars. Then median is 6. Then the range is 4. Range is what? Minimum value minus maximum value, or maximum minus minimum, right? So if I will say 11 minus minimum is equal to 4, then what is minimum? Minimum comes out to be 7. If minimum comes out to be 7, then is my 6 as a median possible? Is my 6 as a median possible? No, right? If 6 is a median, that means the minimum value should be 6 or less than 6. So the answer is false. There is no guy who is selling more than 10 cars.